Let's get it started right now with Baker Mayfield, who's made it clear he's been working harder and talking softer this offseason in an effort to bounce back from last year's disaster of a season. Baker's now entering year 3, and NFL Network's Patrick Claybon says this is the put-up or shut-up year for the former #1 overall pick. So, Acho, are you worried Baker is going to be a bust?
Absolutely. If you're not worried that Baker's going to be a bust, you're lying to yourself, Marcellus. You're lying to yourself. Baker Mayfield, think about the Baker that so many of us, that I fell in love with. Think about that,
You
Baker.
fell in love with him?
I fell in love with Baker. And mind you, he went to my college rival at the University of Oklahoma.
Wow.
I didn't care. My infatuation for Baker looked beyond my college affiliation to the University of Texas, and it looked at Baker for his greatness when he was at OU.
Traitor.
I didn't care. No, sir. No, sir. Facts over feelings,
Okay.
sir. Facts over feelings.
Truth.
When I looked at Baker in college, 71% completion percentage his junior year. 71% completion percentage his senior year. He won the Heisman, #1 overall pick. Baker was destined for greatness. He was destined. No way he could be a bust. But then, sir, he got to the NFL. And in his first year, 6 wins. Oh God. 6 and 7. He only had, a 63, 64% completion percentage. But it's his rookie season, Marcellus. It's going to get better.
Grown men,
I promise
too.
it's going to get better.
It's going to get better.
So when sophomore season comes around, Marcellus, what happens?
What had happened was?
Completion percentage down to 59%. Interceptions up to 21. 21. So now I'm worried. I'm concerned. I am overly cautious that Baker is in trouble. And if you don't think Baker in trouble, Marcellus, you're lying.
Ooh, I'm close to you. I'm not worried about him being a bust, but I am worried that he won't get his proper due in terms of perception, and because his leash is so short that people will try their best to label him a bust. Let me talk through that, because I'm really close to you, but I'm not worried because his talent level, he shouldn't even be in the bust conversation. With this roster they have this year and a new coach, they shouldn't be in a situation to put Baker in a bust conversation. But Baker brought this on himself.
He did.
Baker brought this on himself. First of all, you keep saying how much you loved him in college to the tune of when he got to the NFL, and kind of jumped over the part that he was the first overall pick, which was a surprise to many, including myself. A lot of people are like, I know he's going to be a top pick. #1 overall, Baker Mayfield? Okay, interesting. So I think right now you look at that as a starting point, and then Baker comes in with the camera crews, comes out. Look, he does break Peyton Manning's rookie season record for touchdown passes, ties that. So then people start saying, okay, he is something. He did earn up to that #1 overall pick. But then the camera crew kept rolling, and commercial after commercial after commercial. And no one in all of those production meetings told him about the sophomore slump. And the sophomore slump is basically a guy who thinks he's arrived and doesn't go back to square one to reset his focus and goals. He thinks he already did something. And then sophomore slump, hit Baker Mayfield. So what changes now? Baker Mayfield, the dog in him, wants to bark louder. He picks a fight with coaches. He picks a fight with the establishment. He picks a fight with our own Colin Cowherd, my favorite person I lied about, which I love you too. My point is, Baker Mayfield didn't make allies out there. There are a lot of people who wish Baker Mayfield bad. And if he were to fall off the cliff, they would say good riddance rather than give him a helping hand.
So you said that Baker might not get the proper due in terms of perception. Perception. The problem is your interception. They affect your perception. And Baker has too many interceptions, and that is completely affecting his perception. You have to be worried about Baker being a bust, if no other reason than what's behind that man's shoulder. And behind that man's shoulder is Case Keenum.
No. We're going to do this again.
I'm not going to stop.
We've been working for a month, dog. Two Case Keenum love stories.
Who was Case Keenum coached by last year? Kevin Stefanski, the head coach of the Cleveland Browns, sir. Who has Case Keenum been coached by before? Bill Callahan, the offensive coordinator, the offensive line coach right now for the Browns. So Case Keenum, the Browns said this, the Browns site, not myself. He said he can finish Kevin Stefanski's football sentences. That's what they said. Case Keenum can finish the man's football sentences. Marcellus, you're a smart man. If you can finish somebody's football sentences, you can finish somebody's football game.
Yeah, but you can't start their game, though.
But
you ain't gonna start
if you're talking about Baker being a bust, my second biggest concern is this. In college, the Baker who transcended talent, his confidence, it followed his success. The problem in the NFL, Baker's confidence has preceded his success. And therefore, the top of his mountain was so high, the top of his talent was so high, the fall, it will be very, very long if he don't show up this year because, like you said, he got all the weapons at his disposal.
That's the thing. He has all the weapons, healthy weapons. Odell shouldn't have been playing last year. We saw that. Jarvis Landry had his issues. They didn't have the chemistry last year. They all collectively thought that if our individual talent adds up to a Voltron effect, nobody can mess with us. And because of the youth, inexperience, and maybe immaturity, they made the wrong calculation. But Baker knows his back is against the wall. And last time I checked, when Baker Mayfield's back is against the wall, since you know him so well.
He show up.
I mean, he show up. I mean, how you
he show out.
Show up, show out, walk on. Oh, it ain't for me? Okay, walk on. Let me go win a Heisman #1 overall pick. Once again, he's in that position in perception because we're talking about a guy going into his third year who now has a fully loaded roster and a real head coach. It looks like, at least on paper. Last time, he didn't even have a real head coach on paper. So now we're going to see a Baker Mayfield walk into a situation, humble, letting his words follow his actions, and hopefully that could lead him to some greatness. Let's move to a couple of guys who definitely aren't bust. Deshaun Watson and Lamar Jackson. Expectations for both of these guys are sky high after amazing seasons last year, with Lamar winning MVP and Deshaun putting on some heroic performances. And both are among the MVP favorites, according to Fox Bet. Lamar has the second best odds to win it, while Deshaun is number 5. So, Acho, who do you think is more likely to take home the MVP award, Deshaun or Lamar?
Lamar. And there's no slight to Deshaun. I think Deshaun actually incubated, isolated as a better overall quarterback as far as on any team. But how can Deshaun win MVP? With what weapons? With what weapons?
We going here.
Okay, DeAndre Hopkins, that bad man.
That dude.
He contributed 20% of the Texans' offense last year. DeAndre Hopkins now plays for the Arizona Cardinals, coach.
They traded.
They play for the Arizona Cardinals. The other receivers on that roster, you got Will Fuller. He was a beast. He was a bad man. Big time, big
fast.
The fastest.
Fast Fuller.
But he's only ever had 699 yards at the most in his season.
We got Hopkins there. Ain't gonna get much rock.
You got Kenny Stills.
There you go.
Kenny Stills, also another bad man. Does a lot of stuff off the field, even more so than on the field. Kenny Stills, he ain't never had a 1,000-yard season. And Kenny Stills, he can go. You got Randall Cobb.
There you go.
He ain't seen 1,000 yards since 2014. Okay, you got David Johnson. David Johnson, they got him at running back in that trade for DeAndre Hopkins. David Johnson, a bad man now. He ain't balled since 2016. And I love David Johnson.
My wrist.
But the problem is, how can Deshaun Watson win MVP with what weapons? Okay, you're going to say this, Acho. You're going to say, well, they brought in Brandon Cooks. Brandon Cooks, he's been maligned. He ain't really been like that. You're going to say, okay, Acho, well, they made some additions in the draft. Did they? They didn't make an offensive addition in the draft until the 4th round. That was a tackle. Until the 5th round at wide receiver. A guy from Rhode Island who hopefully he steps up. But with the plethora of receivers in this draft, you ain't find nobody. So Deshaun Watson not winning MVP, no slight to Deshaun, but I just don't know how he going to do it, Marcel. Please help me.
I will help you. Remember I told you I was 16 years old begging my mama could I push that Honda Accord and you were just entering this world and doing that. Remember those days?
No, I don't.
You don't.
I don't.
Exactly. Let me help you remember how this process works.
Please.
You gave it to me strictly with a focus on the field and roster construction and what guys haven't done when DeAndre Hopkins was sitting there saying, I'm always open.
Always.
And how are they going to perform going forward? Let me give you the equation. It's your performance and then the voters' perception, reception of that performance, and then that turns into the MVP. So MVP, we usually say, is the best player. But then there's times when the MVP widens its scope into something that we're just not familiar with. We rather vote for a breakthrough player than the perennial already did it. Been there, done that. So when we look at this situation, voters, they don't like eating the same dish even if you make it the second time better. Lamar Jackson could go out there literally and have a better season.
That's fair.
Kind of did that in college. Did he win the Heisman when he had a better season?
Fair.
What happened? Some voter looked around and said, saw that already. Saw you do spin moves. Saw you light up defenses before. Can you do it differently and do it greater? That's what opens up the opportunity for Deshaun Watson. Deshaun Watson sitting on a team, offensive continuity. You lose Hopkins, but you named all the receivers that they have. Tremendous depth at that position. You can dust off DJ. Come on now. We can get you back to where you were because now you're going to be counted on, needed, and you're in a place where you have a breath of fresh air. And then there's Deshaun Watson, where the bar has been set lower in terms of what he needs to accomplish. Think about it. Deshaun Watson goes out there, wins a playoff game or two. Mm-hmm. Everyone's like, yes. If Lamar Jackson doesn't even make it to the Super Bowl, people going to look at him like, y'all won 14 games last year. You were the MVP. Thought you were trying to keep pace with Patrick Mahomes. Kind of a letdown. So there's going to be a relief for anything that Deshaun Watson does. And then you see Lamar Jackson do something. You might be disappointed, even though it's great.
I'm going to give you this. This is what I'm going to give you. If Deshaun Watson does somehow win a playoff game or two, maybe he should, because he's winning in spite of his head coach, Bill O'Brien.
Oh,
okay, let's just call a spade a spade.
Okay.
He's winning in spite of his head coach, Bill O'Brien. But what you haven't accounted for, Marcellus, is the fact that I understand what you're saying about.
Now you're feeling it.
I understand what you're saying about.
Come on.
You get tired.
Voter fatigue.
Voter fatigue.
Voter fatigue. It's a thing.
But also you have to remember the MVPs in the past, Lamar Jackson, Patrick Mahomes, Tom Brady, Matt Ryan, Cam Newton, many of those players make it to the Super Bowl. They at least win a playoff game. Mm-hmm. Deshaun Watson, he hasn't done that.
No. Don't you do that about Buffalo. You forgot that about Buffalo game? See, my man? We got to be prepared for these situations and these arguments. Now, he didn't win that game, really. Buffalo lost it.
Thank you.
But the same thing is, Lamar Jackson has these insane expectations. I played with a guy by the name of Barry Sanders. Heard of him? Mm-hmm. Yeah. To me, it's not even a question. That's the best running back ever. However, there is a conversation he's not the best. You know why? Because as soon as they saw him do amazing things, they said, wow, can you do that again and make it add up to something? Team success. And if it doesn't add up to team success, they start to slight you. So now Barry Sanders finds himself in a conversation with a Emmitt Smith.
But remember, we've already seen the wow plays from Deshaun. Don't act like we haven't.
What wow?
We haven't seen Deshaun get kicked in the eye with one eyeball throw a touchdown pass.
Is that the same as Lamar Jackson doing double clockwise reverse spins and then winning 14 games? And the people are like, look, this is the best season we've seen statistically maybe from a quarterback ever. No one's ever placed that label on Watson. Mm-hmm. So the point of it is, if you're Lamar Jackson, you've already broke through. Now they're going to want to see you do it differently and do it greater. How can he do that? There's no answer to it right now.
Download the all-new Fox Sports app now.